Well, we see over the last several hours, we've had a liquidation event to the markets, evident a clear dump on everyone's portfolios. Our eclipse yesterday that I was speaking so adamant about bringing a high has changed the structure and the morale of the market. And in today's episode, I want to talk a lot about philosophy and mindset and just overall outlook on this market moving forward. Moving forward in the macro sense, and just to be transparent and start this out in the short term, I had a bullish sentiment moving into the month of September or December, and it ended up being wrong and a bad call, you guys. Which is why I tend to be so adamant and say I don't like to make predictions on the volatility, but just expose the dates like December 4th as being very volatile days to the market, and I hope my work shows that. And I think we could go back to the basics and keep our opinions out of it. But just again to reiterate on the future dates that I call the volatility and the potential of. Over the last 48 hours, a liquidity shakeout has essentially washed out 410,000 plus leverage traders. And this is something that I have warned about for weeks that would happen again on the way back up. And we'll talk about if Bitcoin has hit a blow off top and become a mature asset in a moment or not. But I definitely still see potential upside for all altcoins, and we'll speak about that. But I might be one of the only few analysts out here that actually told you leading up through these past few areas about, how important it was to de-risk portfolios. If you've heard me speaking about that. And if you've done that, you've got capital on the sideline to reaccumulate now, or to, hold if we are headed into a bear market. And we'll speak again about that in a moment. But perhaps needing to remind more and more and more than I even do about the volatility of this market and how careful people should be, and how important it is to get into understanding technical analysis and the code, or etc., whatever you need to find your truth. Then I think we need to truly just try and find our truths. But yeah, sorry, I can't blame you for doing that if you de-risk your portfolios going up, especially right now. With how this market works, with the market manipulation and the market makers, there's been an overall bullish sentiment across most people, and that's essentially how I looked at this, and how I do look at this regardless still. But it's always important to remember how much markets get more and more popular as they're going up, and as the attention comes to these new nascent asset classes. There are going to be these shakeout and volatile periods like this that really check egos. Again, mine checked, but in my defense, I really do think we should have went up right here and had a third straight line breakout. But that this is clearly the globalist elite in the market, private Western central banker, market makers. Kronos right here and Saturn. No technical analysis showed us Bitcoin coming back to 42K that I know of. And I'm not the greatest, but the only thing showing me that while Bitcoin fell to 42K and XRP fell to 69 cents, well, the only thing that made sense to me was in the year of Saturn, that equaled 42 and 69. Well, that's clearly the manipulation that was played out here during this stage of the bull run at a new moon that typically brings bullish energy. That was a double eclipse period. Um, I'm not trying to say 100% transparent that that should have played out like that, but high loving vibrational energy and for you and care is put into this work that I do, and I was very adamant about a 72K top and 4.236 Fibonacci extension coming in for Bitcoin on this day. And that was just my opinion and how I was looking at the markets. And that doesn't need to be how you are looking at the markets. And that's very important to understand. You're supposed to take what I give, find your truth, and follow others as well. Learn, teach yourself. Um, you know, I'm just trying to find other conscious beings that are doing their best to try and empower themselves. That's all I'm trying to teach, and teach you to empower yourself by giving you my code, technical analysis, and beliefs in this, in this prison planet or purgatory that we live in, that I expose. But someone who indulges in all my work with you and goes back to these things, we know we're in a problem in our world right now, and we're the people that can solve that problem. And I believe it has way more to do with consciousness than it does finance. And I always want to try and play my role as a leader pushing that message, and remind you that it's money is not everything, but yeah, it allows comfortability. And I've asked recently a lot of people, like, what is rich? I keep telling people that we can't get fixated and asphyxiated on this number, but to understand that we're playing with fire and walking on hot coals in every aspect of life, with the economy, finance, and everything we're seeing play out in the world right now. So, every shakeout I believe we're having right now is to get rid of weak hands. And yeah, if you're somebody that's been in this market since last year when Bitcoin was $3,000 and you took some money off the table recently, then you've still made money. And if you're somebody that's got into XRP since March of last year and you're still holding, you're still up now. And you've still protected yourself in Biden's America and the inflation rate that we're still getting hit with right now. So I just want to make sure that if you're losing faith in the market, just remember that these are the moments right here, right now, where the elites or whomever, the algorithm, whatever runs this market, this is the moment where they, the uncommon 1%, like to take advantage of our sentiment, the retail. Because this happened on Saturday, Saturn Day. Again, retail investors caused this. Okay? And you'll see CME probably buy it right back up tonight as we get ready to head into Monday, Moon Day. Like, these are the times where the people running the show are accumulating and we are handing our bags to them. So if you're selling because of the Omicron variant or whatever that they've used to market manipulate this, then well, you've done exactly what they wanted you to do. And remember that this is your experience and you need to take it into your hands, and remember that you're the only one that holds the key to your financial freedom. So yeah, the point being of all of this is that technical analysis and learning a skill in these markets is will be the best thing that protects us, because you know, we could have at least saw this 51k, you know, break of our falling wedge pattern a sign of worry, even though we called for that for a month, you know. But we saw a rejection right back, or a recovery right back inside. So, you know, market manipulation, you guys, whatever. But this is your experience. You get to be the controller. And, you know, when you start to play with your money and invest and take personal responsibility for what you're doing, I, you know, I believe you'll stop allowing the sentiment of whatever happens in the markets, you know, affect you psychologically. Um, but again, I just wanted to say I did start out this episode with saying that the call for December was wrong, and then I thought we'd at least be in the 70s and 80s for this time frame, but we're clearly getting a different market than we have historically in bull runs. And in my last few videos, I've, you know, been pretty adamant about that. And today we'll probably break this down and give you a lot of pretty thorough TA for you know, what I think we're looking at and possibly dealing with. But, you know, we'll still have to let it play out. Only time will tell, especially after a liquidation event like this. But the importance that we've held this 42 level in this higher low of the structure, it's very important that we continue to see price increasement from here, and we don't set a lower low than what we have, you know, for Bitcoin, or else I do think that we could be seeing a dead cat bounce and going lower for Bitcoin, and entering into a altcoin season blow off top. You know, that's what we haven't seen yet, and we know that it's the altcoins. You know, a lot of people were screaming head and shoulders, and well, you know, it's possible. We'll just have to see how that plays out. But you know, I don't want to get too deep into technical analysis right this second. I wanted to remind you of the importance of our eclipse, December 4th, which was 88 days from Rosh Hashanah, or 2 months and 27 days, and we spoke about how powerful that number was. And it was a day leaving 27 days left in the year that gave us matching numerology with the Shemitah. Again, another day that we saw sell, you know, 11% down in Bitcoin on the Shemitah. So just very important times in the year. And again, matching numerology with that day. This is the first bull run that is happening during a Shemitah. We've never had one in crypto. So that's very important. That could be the reason why things are playing out different. And I don't know. You know, I use the code and I give you what I got. But very important that we make that connection right here. So yeah. I might possibly be doing this video in 2 parts. We don't know if we're going to be having a V-shaped recovery like we did during the pandemic, or if we're going to have a V-shaped recovery in like we did in November of last year. None of us know. Again, there's 3 things that will happen in the market, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it will go up, down, and sideways. You know, but what you need to do is benefit your money and how it's going to benefit you. And I definitely don't want to be known as a predictions guy, you guys. Damn it. I don't come out here to make predictions with price targets or dates. I utilize a skill with numerology and gematria and astrology, etc. And I try and teach that. I don't want to be known as this predictions guy. So please, let's not do that. What I want to teach is a skill and others to think outside the box, because the billionaires and the trillionaires don't think like the peons. Okay. um and I just don't believe that astrology is evil like they say it is. So again, I utilize it, etc. But this is not a time for novice traders to be trading, by the way, and I want to make that clear too. And I hope the 410,000 leveraged traders, have really learned their lesson and they stop leverage trading. At least, no higher than 2-3x. Sorry, sorry about that. But yeah, the markets are clearly off the rails over the last 2 weeks, and I just, mm, I don't even. I'm glad I don't leverage trade. That's all. I never even wanted to even study it. You know, but anyways, I probably will be doing this video in a two-part video, so bear with me, you guys. And all technical analysis coming